Next, I will bring up the high school coordinator, Mr. William Martin from Central Bruce High School, to introduce the conductor and enjoy the senior high honor band.
Thank you very much. And before we get going with the Senior High Honor Band, if you would have told us a year ago when we were playing into bags and emptying our spit on doggy pads, that a year from now we'd have a packed house having Kenny Broussard lead us in Queen. Every day I question reality. It's amazing. Before this, we're going to keep going with it. Something that, and he's not going to talk about himself, but 14 years ago, yeah, let me get this mic. I don't know, maybe the right thing. How about the, ooh. All right. Swapping it, okay. So, 14 years ago, we started team teaching and a concerted effort to bring music into the schools here in Lafourche, and that was headed up by Mr. Jim Trant. And next week at the Louisiana Music Educator Association All-State Conference, he's going to be awarded the National Federation of High Schools Outstanding Educator Award, and so very deserving. And he's not going to get the recognition outside of here and that he deserves in a state conference. And I just want to take a minute to recognize Mr. Trant for this award. Plenty of parishes have people like Mr. Trant, but not many parishes have people like Jim Trant who really help lead great music programs. So kudos to you, Mr. Trant. Mr. Robert Freeman is our conductor of our Senior High Honor Band. He received his Bachelor's of Music Education from Northwestern State University and a Master's in Euphonium Performance from Southern Miss. He's been the band director at West Monroe High School for 25 years. That's some staying power. A band director at West Monroe for 25 years. His bands at West Monroe are consistently receiving superior awards. They're viewed as not just one of the finest band programs in the state, but in the nation. His bands have performed in not one, but two presidential inauguration parades in Washington, D.C., and in a New Year's parade in London. I know, like, I want to, golly. We're going on the road. He was awarded the Band World Legion of Honor, the National Band Association Citation of Excellence Award, and most recently, the Golden Apple Award. It's been an absolute pleasure of mine watching him teach. It's an honor for me to introduce to you the Senior High Honor Band and the conductor, Robert Freeman.
Can you hear us okay? Maybe we could be a little bit stronger. No, that was Carnegie Anthem, which was written by a good friend of mine, William Owens, for a band that was playing at Carnegie Hall. And so he kind of wrote that piece for it. Just a great little concert opener, tons of notes in the woodwinds, and just fun to listen to and fun to play. The next piece is a little bit different. It's a transcription of an orchestral work. It's not something that bands do all the time anymore. But back in the day, there wasn't a lot of band music written. There were marches. And then they would transcribe orchestral literature and give the violin parts to certain instruments and the cello parts to others. And this is kind of one of those. It's called Light Cavalry Overture by Franz von Suppeg. And it's just kind of an old school orchestral overture, but it has a ton of notes in it, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It's not something that you hear all the time at band concerts. This is Light Cavalry Overture.
Toward the end of our first 100 years, the 1880s found our nation moving both forward and backward. The ideals of our founding had stood the severest test, and we were just beginning to sense our emergence as a world power. Pausing, we took strength from our national hymn, God of Our Fathers. Written after the centennial celebration of our nation, it expressed our gratitude for the past and ask for divine guidance for the future. O God of our fathers, thy divine love has led us to the past. In this free land by thee, our lot is cast. Be thou our ruler, guardian, guide and stay. Thy word our law, thy paths our chosen way. From wars, alarms, from deadly pestilence, be thy strong or our ever sure defense. Thy true religion in our hearts increase. Thou bounteous goodness nourish us in peace. Refresh thy people on their toilsome way. Lead us from night to never-ending day. Fit all our lives with love and grace divine, and glory loud and praise be ever thine.
please stand up. Let's give all these students a round of applause. If you have been in a Parish Honor Band for 2 or more years, please remain standing. Three or more years, please stay standing. 4 or more years, please stay standing. 5 or more years, please stay standing. 6 or more years, please stay standing. 'And if you have been in Senior High Honor Band all 7 years, please remain standing. Thank you. Congratulations. I saw this done by Miss Bienvenue at Parish or District Honor Band, and I felt like it was important that we do it. And what I did is I found some of my students here at Central Lafourche that are in this group, and I asked them, please describe Mr. Freeman. Give me an adjective that describes him. These are some of the responses: focused, determined, passionate, understanding, inspiring, observant, knowledgeable. He actually knows what he's talking about. And I wish he was my band director instead of you. So, I'd like to give Mr. Freeman this plaque in appreciation for him being our honor band conductor. Let's give him another great round of applause.
Cool. Bunch of sneaky little kids talking about your band director behind his back. No. Guys, I'm telling you, it has been so fun to be here these last couple of days. Thank you, Jim, for inviting me to come. Thank you, all of the band directors in this area, in this district, Lafourche Parish. Thank you guys so much for all of your help and assistance and just support for this event. Gosh, who'd have thought this would be happening after having so many, 2 years of basically nothing. And here we are, sharing music with you, you enjoying music together, us having a great time. You can't do this. I was telling them the other day, or maybe today, we were talking about music and how special it is. And there's a moment that most of us get when we're musicians where it's the first time when you're playing something and it's really good. For me, it happened when I was in junior high. And it was just this really good moment. And you got goosebumps and you looked around to see if anybody else and everybody else is looking at you like, did you just feel that? Well, it's an amazing thing, and it's not something that you can really describe to anyone who's not a musician or who's not in band. There's just a band thing that's really special. And I tell them that what we are able to achieve in an honor band and in band every day is kind of a synergy, kind of a 2 + 2 = 57 kind of thing. The sum of all their individual efforts is way greater than than the individual effort added together. And to me, that's a special thing that makes music unique. I told them that feeling that you get when things are good and that musical moment happens. I said, you can't go anywhere. You can't go on the street and buy a drug that will give you that feeling. And anybody who's never been in band or in music doesn't understand. I just think that that's the case. That feeling that we get, that experience that we have in music is singularly unique and so important. And you guys are so fortunate to have people. Superintendent is here at your concert. How amazing is that? You couldn't say that about 5 other parishes in Louisiana, I guarantee you, where a superintendent is going to take his evening to come out and support music like that this morning. I think you deserve another hand, and I'm just so... So I saw a quote, and I saved it, that I thought would be, it really applied. It's really by, there's a guy who's not very well known. His name is Vince Lombardi. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him. You haven't heard of Vince Lombardi? Okay. Well, wait until Sunday night when they hand the trophy out for who wins the Super Bowl and see what they name it after. It's him. And he was quoted as saying, "We are going to relentlessly chase perfection, knowing full well we will not catch it, because nothing is perfect. But we are going to relentlessly chase it, because in the process, we will catch excellence. And I'm not remotely interested in just being good." I think that speaks for band as well, don't you? That's what, we've had 3 bands. Thank you. So you've had 3 bands that you've heard tonight, and every one of them relentlessly pursuing perfection in the short amount of time that we have. You do realize that none of these bands exist anymore. The last 2, they're gone. They just disappeared into the vapor. They only existed for this one moment in time when these students came together to make music, and then boom, whoosh, it's gone. It'll never exist again. You'll never experience it again. This band, after our last tune, will never exist in its form again. You're hearing it for the first and last time. The music they make is singularly unique. There will never be another chance to hear this group because it won't exist anymore. We talk about all the time up in West Monroe and pretty much all over the country. People hold their heads and go, "My gosh, what is wrong with kids today? Oh my gosh. What in the world is wrong with kids today?" You witnessed tonight everything that's right with kids today. That's everything that's right with kids today. And let me tell you what, I wouldn't trade any of them for the world. These people, if you're wondering like, man, what in the world is this country coming to? Are we going to be okay? I submit to you, we're going to be just fine if these guys are running it. We're going to be in great shape. Okay. Thank you guys for hosting me. Thanks for being here. Hey guys, thank you for a wonderful time of music making. Too bad it's over. Wish we could make more, but we'll meet again, right? We'll make some music again in the future. All right, so our last tune, Willie's favorite tune called "The Horse." I think we're going to play that. I was trying to think of what we could top Bohemian Rhapsody. I almost got in my truck and left after Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm just telling you. Kenny Broussard, shame on you. Right? So we're going in a different direction. We're going back to the 1920s. And we're going to play some kind of flapper, the Lindy, kind of that kind of early jazz form. And it's called Curtain Call. And I hope you guys like it. And if you want to tap your foot or snap your fingers or do whatever, don't sing because there's no words. So thank you so much.
Wow. We hope you enjoyed that. Such incredible everything by everybody here tonight. Mr. Jones again. Thank you again, Mr. Jones, Mr. Broussard, and Mr. Freeman.